Gather close, my children, for this is no ordinary tale, it is a story wrapped in the weight of choices, the ache of desperation, and the bitter cost of shortcuts. It comes from the vibrant streets of Abeokuta, where the hills tell secrets, and shadows whisper lessons. It is the story of Mareo, a woman who gambled with her soul and lost everything. Mareo grew up in a one-room shack, where every raindrop felt like a curse as it leaked through the rusted tin roof. Her mother, Mama Dora, sold firewood by the roadside, her hands calloused and cracked from years of toil. Her father was long gone, leaving the burden of survival squarely on Mareo's shoulders. She was beautiful, skin as smooth as freshly pounded yam, eyes that shimmered like morning dew. But beauty, as Mareo learned, could not fill an empty stomach. From dawn till dusk, she hawked puff-puff in the bustling markets of Abeokuta. Buy one, taste sweetness. She called, her voice competing with the noise of traders and honking danfo buses. But no matter how hard she worked, her earnings vanished like smoke in the wind. As the years dragged on, Mareo grew weary. She prayed fervently, crying out to God at midnight vigils. Lord, when will my suffering end? She wept. But the heavens seemed silent. One evening, as Mareo sat by the roadside, counting her meager earnings, her friend Adebimpe approached her. Adebimpe was a woman of mystery, always dressed in fine lace, with gold jewelry that sparkled in the sunlight. Mareo, Adebimpe began, her voice low and conspiratorial, why are you still living like this? Look at me, do you think I got here by selling groundnuts? Mareo frowned. What are you saying, Bimpe? Did you steal? Adebimpe laughed, her red lips curving into a sly smile. Not stealing, smartness. There's a man in Ijibu Ode, Baba Iken. He helps people like us. He can change your life overnight. Mareo's heart skipped a beat. What does he want in return? Sacrifice, Adebimpe said casually, as if the word meant nothing. But isn't it better to sacrifice a little and live like a queen than suffer forever? Mareo hesitated. But that night, as she lay on her tin mat, staring at the cracks in the ceiling, Adebimpe's words echoed in her mind. The journey to Baba Iken's shrine was a descent into darkness. Deep in the forest, where the trees grew so tall they blotted out the sun, she found his compound. It was an eerie place, with clay pots filled with bones and strange carvings on the walls. Baba Iken sat cross-legged, his piercing eyes seeming to strip Mareo of all her secrets. You seek wealth, he said, his voice a low growl. Yes, she whispered, trembling. Spirits are willing to help, he said. But there is a price. What price? The blood of an innocent family, Baba Iken said bluntly. Their lives in exchange for your fortune. Mareo's stomach churned. I can't do that. Then leave, he said, turning away. But remember, you are not the first to come here. Many have hesitated, only to return when poverty becomes unbearable. For weeks, Mareo wrestled with her conscience. But as her debts mounted, and hunger gnawed at her family, desperation consumed her. One fateful night, she returned to Baba Iken and agreed to the sacrifice. The deed was done. A family, a father, mother, and 2 children, were killed in a stage accident. Mareo's hands trembled as she signed the agreement with Baba Iken, her soul tethered to a dark covenant. And then, as promised, the wealth came. Contracts poured in, strangers gifted her money, and her business boomed overnight. Mareo moved into a mansion in Lekki, wore designer clothes, and drove the finest cars. She was no longer the hawker from Abeokuta, she was now Madam Millionaire. But Baba Iken's warnings rang in her ears. The inside of her mansion must remain plain and ordinary, it must not look beautiful. She could attend parties but never host her own. She must employ a personal assistant, Femi, chosen by the spirits, who could never be dismissed. At first, Mareo obeyed the rules. Femi, her PA, was efficient but unnervingly silent, always watching her with an unsettling intensity. But as time passed, Mareo grew restless. She wanted to enjoy her wealth without restrictions. What is the point of being rich if I can't host a party or decorate my home? She complained to Adebimpe. Then, Deo, her ex-boyfriend, reappeared. He was smooth-talking and handsome, and Mario, blinded by nostalgia, welcomed him back into her life. Femi, however, was furious. This man will bring trouble, he warned. Leave him alone. Mario snapped. When Femi tried to intervene again, Mario, in a fit of rage, dismissed him. I don't need you anymore, she screamed, forgetting Boba Ikon's warning. That night, everything unraveled. Mario woke to find her reflection in the mirror distorted, horns sprouted from her head, her skin rotted as if decaying from within. Her accounts were emptied, her properties seized. She ran back to Boba Ikon's shrine, but it was abandoned. Villagers told her that Boba Ikon had died weeks earlier. Even the powerful cannot escape death, they said. Only God holds ultimate power. In desperation, she visited another herbalist, who listened to her story with a grave expression. Your PA, Femi, was not a man, he revealed. He was a spirit, sent to guard your wealth. By dismissing him, you broke the covenant. Mario fell to her knees, sobbing. Is there no way to undo this? The herbalist shook his head. Your soul is marked. No one can save you now. Mario's mansion became an abandoned shell, overtaken by weeds. Her name, once celebrated, became a cautionary tale whispered in the street and at the market square. Children, remember this: shortcuts to success often lead to destruction. True wealth comes through patience, faith, and hard work. Perseverance is key. When the road is long and the nights are dark, trust in God's timing. For what He has planned for you is greater than anything the world can offer, if only you wait. My children, do you want to hear more real-life stories? Subscribe now and become a part of this wonderful community. Big hugs and gratitude to all of you.